Welcome. This is a review of Murdoch University Bus 340 Advanced Human Resource Perspectives Capstone Unit. Implementing a 10-part change report for countrywide general insurance, CGI, covering different critical tasks that plans, implement, evaluates the perceived success of the company and is presented by Andrea, Diana, Hala and Sarmila. An organizational strategy is the direction and scope of a company, based on long-term objectives, goals and plans to establish sustainable competitive advantage meeting stakeholder needs. CGI's organizational strategy is divided into three components. First, to separate the company into two subunits, retail and business arm. Second, to sell the retail arm once stabilized and profitable. And third, expand into the business insurance arm as there is a high demand profit for its particular services. It is essential to conduct internal and external scans to assess, analyze and critique existing strategies of CGI, to improve or implement new effective ones that take into account the strengths, weaknesses, threats and opportunities. Please pause the video to review the adapted SWOT analysis. HRM strategy aims to generate organization capability by ensuring the organization has well-motivated, skilled and committed employees to achieve sustained competitive advantage. GUEST 1997 model is applied to CGI as it focuses on specific HR practices, aligned with organizational strategy, that will be discussed further in the following topics to produce positive behavioral, performance and financial outcomes such as high productivity and profit. For CGI, the main two departments that will be affected by change will include the marketing and claims staff. Therefore, the HR team will make use of the Lewin's model, which will help with the development of change. This model using three components to aid in change. These include freezing, unfreezing and refreezing. This model can also be linked to Bear's model, which includes 6 steps. For change to occur, the freezing stage will include laying out a vision for employees at CGI, receiving feedback from employees regarding change and giving support for the change. This stage is linked to the first 3 steps of Bear's model, which comprise of commitment through joint analysis of problems, developing a vision to achieve goals and carrying out the visions. The second stage will be unfreezing. This includes retraining sales and marketing staffs, implementing programs and mentoring staff. This is also linked to step 4 of Bear's model, which includes spreading revitalization to each department and helping them to adjust to new changes. Finally, the last stage of Lewin's model includes refreezing, which will comprise of measuring training to see how well employees think these programs were effective or not. This is once again linked to step 5 and 6 of Bear's model by institutionalizing revitalization through systems and monitoring strategies in response to problems in the revitalization process. Ethics determines what is morally right and wrong in an organization. According to Jones, 2014, different ethical styles such as deontology and utilitarianism provide important information that could be used to help CGI understand potential conflict and decide appropriate corrective actions. Here is a sample. In addition, it is essential that CGI sets an ethical culture by building an infrastructure based on clear policy and appropriate code of ethics that set standards of behavior such as integrity, fairness and confidentiality that comply with the law. CSR is the obligation of organizations behaving in ethical and moral ways, striking the balance between economic, social and environmental issues, addressing stakeholder and shareholder needs. CGI is applied to the Competency Academy 2006 CSR framework, identifying factors the insurance company where CSR such as understanding society, stakeholder relations and harnessing diversity may take place by their relevance and evaluation to significant stakeholders. OH&S sets minimum requirements for specific hazards, work and administration practices that concern work safety and health. CGI will use a risk assessment to build a strong foundation of good health and safety management to ensure that all work practices applied to the law align with CGI's business objectives and identify, estimate level of risks and monitor/implement preventative and corrective actions to reduce risks. CGI is required by law to carry out a risk assessment at their place of work and to keep a written record of that risk assessment. There are a variety of workplace risks hazards CGI could face, such as physical, ergonomic, psychosocial, and security. Organization redesign. Main goal is to achieve the highest level of employee productivity and employee satisfaction. Redesigning jobs will allow tasks to be assigned based on employee skills and abilities, which result in high levels of intrinsic motivation. Based on the JCM table shown, the marketing team under the sales department need redesigning, as motivation and satisfaction are low. Hagman and Oldham's Job Characteristics Model, JCM, will discuss the necessary changes to be made in redesigning jobs effectively in order to increase personal and work outcomes, which include these 5 characteristics, while Herzberg's 2-factor theory will be used to eliminate dissatisfaction, hygiene, and create conditions for satisfaction, motivators, in CGI's marketing department. Employee engagement is the nature of the relationship between an organization and its employees' commitment and is positively associated with high levels of productivity. High level of engagement in CGI will lead to employees being passionate about their work and are more willing to collaborate towards the organization's success, resulting in low staff turnover, improved productivity and efficiency. It is essential for CGI to adopt engagement strategies such as encouraging collaboration, effective communication, effective commitment, and intrinsic and extrinsic rewards to keep staff engaged. This flowchart discusses on how the recruitment process would take place in CGI by advertising and effectively selecting the employee for the specialist position. Internal recruitment through job posting is to be used for CGI's marketing department. Internal recruitment is recommended as it has many benefits, such as being cost-effective and to also helping to strengthen employee engagement. In addition, CGI already has a database on the skills of the existing employee. This can help CGI recruit employees with the specific knowledge, skills, and abilities needed for the job. This appendix discusses the use of selection tools in the hiring process. Using a hybrid of selection tools has shown more validity coefficient than when using single tool. Hence, CGI should use a combination of the intelligence test and the interview. Among the different types of interviews available, CGI should use behavior description interview as it has the highest validity among the different types of interviews. In addition, as the behavior description interview focuses on interviewing employees on situations based on their past experience. This can help CGI select better employees as they can ask potential employees on how they have handled previous problems in CGI before. For staff to perform effectively in the B2B transition to CUAP, a HR program for training analysis needs is used. There are 3 levels to this analysis: organizational, task, and person, which will allow CGI to identify employees' current level of knowledge and skills in comparison to the required level of competency standard that they should possess in their positions. Training is costly, and CGI could use the $23.5 million which the board decided to put in a trust account as a budget to train the new and current staff of CGI. Training program needs to be designed by considering it to be either andragogy or pedagogy, and for CGI it is recommended be andragogy as shown in the table. An instructional design HR program for training also has to be implemented to prepare staff for effective performance in the changed environment. Evaluation of the training is necessary to determine its success rate, and this can be done by using Kirkpatrick's evaluation model, which consists of 4-level indicators in the initial stages of the transition to analyze and evaluate the results of the training. In addition, CGI should also use the Brinkerhoff's training evaluation model to widen their understanding of the results of training, as it consists of both formative, which is evaluating the planning for the training, and summative, which is to evaluate how effective was the training based on employees' new knowledge and adaptation to new environment and future improvements. It is crucial for constant evaluation at every stage to ensure effective learning and a course of change if necessary in CGI. Workforce planning decides when and how many employees should be hired, redeployed, or dismissed in an organization, and when they should work. CGI are required to retain all staff advised by the consultant, currently facing issues of an oversupply of staff in the sales and claims departments and a shortage of qualified employees in the adjusters and professional services departments. CGI will follow a lawful procedure in deciding how to reduce, redeploy and upsize the number of workers needed in departments. Risks and benefits of each method are outlined in the sample. Processes will follow natural attrition, staff reallocation, redeployment, sabbatical without pay or leave without pay, LWOP, early retirement programs, voluntary redundancy and redundancy. Effective communication is vital between workers and employer to reduce negative attitudes and actions towards CGI. This process of workplace planning focuses on improving productivity and cost efficiency. All downsizing methods will be conducted using a deontological ethical approach to promote fairness based on right and wrong ethical values following universal norms and Australian legislation to suggest alternative courses of action techniques to reduce social injustice, leaving redundancy as a final method if all else fails. Remuneration pay is a powerful tool to influence CGI and CUAP employees' attitude and behavior in helping the organization reach its goals. Pay also is an important factor in attracting new employees and retaining the existing employees. However, pay is costly to the company and therefore CGI and CUAP needs to strategize a pay structure in a way which maximizes the profit of the overall company. The national and state laws in Australia covers equal employment opportunity and anti-discrimination in workplace. CGI and CUAP can use the Australian Human Rights Commission's fact sheets to develop effective pay policies and guidelines which prevent anti-discrimination while designing pay structure for different employees. In addition, while designing the pay structure, CGI and CUAP has to search on the minimum wage and modern awards for the different groups of employees that they have. They can use the Fairworks website to find the relevant awards and minimum wage for the employees of CGI and CUAP. For CGI and CUAP, we would recommend it using skill-based pay system. As CGI is going through the change, it would require its employees to be flexible by agreeing to undergo training to fit into a new or existing job. In the case study, it is stated that the sales department has surplus of staff. Hence, a skill-based pay system would encourage some employees to attain skills, knowledge for other available jobs in CGI and CUAP. Under the different types of skill-based pay system, Type B is recommended for the sales department of the CGI and CUAP. Type B is suitable for the sales department as it reward an appropriate balance between employee flexibility and self-management skills. This type of system originated by Procter & Gamble in the 1960s is suitable where high employee skill and employee involvement is needed. Call centers under sales department in the CGI and CUAP, hence, CGI and CUAP should increase an employee's pay as he/she acquires and becomes more proficient in job-related skills. However, for skill-based pay system to be successful in CGI and CUAP, the compensation team has to ensure that the skills rewarded in the system are job-related and the amount of compensation increase should be relevant to the difficulty level of the skill. The objective of this incentive scheme is to achieve increased performance and productivity for the sales staff of CGI. Rewards will be given to motivate sales staff to ensure they are staying focused on the assigned tasks, as it has been discovered that sales staff are retrofitting. By looking at the cost scheme table, it can be shown that the best possible solution to implement an incentive plan for CGI would be a bonus and overtime pay for the remainder of no more than a year. CGI will use the Fair Work Act 2009 business transfer provisions as a guide of selling the retail arm, CGI, to expand and transfer employees to CUAP business arm. CGI's sale to CUAP may affect the employment and entitlements of current employees in claims, sales, adjusters and professional services. The result may be that an award, agreement, or another type of transferable instrument of existing employees will follow the transfer and become binding on CUAP new employers. Under the Fair Work Act 2009, it is compulsory for CGI to give every new transferred employee a copy of the Fair Work Information Statement either before or straight after new job is started. All employment records, at the time of the transfer, must be given to CUAP/new employer of transferred employees and be kept by the new employer for 7 years in line with their record-keeping obligations under the Fair Work Act 2009. CGI can use the banking, Finance and Insurance Award 2010, an enforceable document by Fair Work Australia containing minimum terms and conditions of employment that cover legislated minimum terms such as pay, overtime rates and conditions, special leave arrangements, special allowances, hours of work and termination of employment. Banking, Finance and Insurance Award 2010 will cover 3 out of 4 departments, sales claims adjusters. In which classification of employees will help determine legislative entitlements. Costs will satisfy the minimum law requirements as a benchmark of employment relations. As CGI and CUAP has wide variety of position in the company, it is very hard for the HR department to keep track of the different awards. And CGI and CUAP is recommended to form enterprise agreement, EA, with their employees. This will also ensure that the employees are involved in the process where their working conditions are decided. However, the Fair Work Commission has to approve the agreement and the agreement has to pass the Better Off Overall test. Enterprise agreement covers topics like hours of work, remuneration, leave, resolving workplace issues for different types of employees in CGI and CUAP. Full-time, part-time, casual. This section below will briefly describe some parts of the enterprise agreement of CGI and CUAP. Despite the fact that EA takes time and effort, they can be beneficial to both the employer and the employee. EA is also costly to CGI and CUAP as compared to modern awards, as the pay rate in the enterprise agreement has to be more than the relevant award. However, this cost factor can help to motivate the employees and promote productivity at CGI and CUAP. It can also help CGI and CUAP manage its operations in a more efficient way as compared to being uncertain of whether they are meeting its legal obligations under the different awards. Hence, we would recommend CGI and CUAP to use enterprise bargaining. Enterprise agreement can also cover those employees who would not have been covered by the modern awards. According to the Fair Works Commission Australia, awards do not apply to high-income employees. Awards do not cover employees who has accepted a written guarantee of annual earnings and those employees that earn more than the high-income threshold of $145,000. With effective from July 1, 2018. Hence, it is better for CGI and CUAP to use EA as they can cover all of their employees as compared to using modern awards. Performing HR evaluation in CGI will provide feedback to both management and HR specialists on the value of the contribution of the HR function to the organization's strategic business objectives. CGI evaluation plan is done by quantitative approach using balanced scorecard, which consists of 4 goals: financial, customer, process and organizational capacity, which uses KPI to track and measure HRM's effectiveness quarterly and using benchmarking. An example of KPI used in process goal is to ensure that all processes taking place during the change implementation in CGI departments are appropriate and is in alignment with organizational goals. There are 4 types of benchmarking that can be undertaken by an organization: internal, competitive, functional and generic. Leading companies are conducting benchmarking on a regular basis and using it as a stimulus to help transform HR and business performance. CGI HR team has to constantly perform the market research to help CGI stay competitive. Data collected can be compared with previous records and industry benchmark standards to review HR policies, practices and systems, and thus able to make amendments to enhance job satisfaction and performance in CGI. HR evaluation of CGI must incorporate both the organization's and the employee's contribution. HRM's contribution to organizational performance involves aligning HR strategies with organizational strategies, managing the corporate culture to win employee commitment, and being efficient in managing HR activities. HRM's contribution to individual well-being is demonstrated by employee attitudes and behavior. The HR outcome model will be used for CGI to provide the HR manager with a combination of quantitative and qualitative measures that can be employed to show HR's strategic contribution to CGI's objectives and employee well-being. Here is a table which shows the different metrics used to evaluate each HRM function and the ways in which they are being evaluated.